Hello, everyone, and welcome back. Today is, of course, Chanukah. Chanukah Sameach, a happy Chanukah to everyone. And it's also Erev Shabbos, and I'd like to share with you a brief Chanukah idea. This idea is going to be based on the Or Gedaliyahu, and we're going to try and address the question of what is the connection, the deeper connection, between the menorah and the menorah of the temple, the menorah of the Mishkan, the menorah of the Beis HaMikdash, and the miracle of Chanukah. Of course, we know that the miracle of Chanukah occurred through the menorah, but the question, though, is why? Why is it of all the temple implements, that is the one that really becomes the representation of the miracle of Chanukah? So we'll start with the Malbim. There's a very interesting Malbim that quotes a Zohar. And the Zohar says the following. It says, if you look in creation, what's the first thing that's created? Of course, the first thing that's created is Or, is the light of creation, the original light of creation. And in fact, if you look at the Mishkan, the very first avoda, the very first temple service that's described in the Torah is also the temple service of Or, of light. So already we're starting to see a connection between the two. But let's go a little bit further. If you look at the Or of creation, if you look at the light of creation, the Torah leaves out a phrase that it says by almost all the other items that are created. The Torah leaves out the phrase, after creating the light, the Torah does not say, Vayehi chen, and so it was. It does not say so. Why not? Because the light of creation, that original light, was not so. In fact, it was put away. It did not remain as it was. It was put away. It's known classically as the Or HaGanuz. It's the spiritual, supernal light that's hidden away for the future. Comes along Aaron HaKohen in the beginning of the inauguration of the Mishkan, and the verse says that he's commanded to go ahead and to light the menorah, and the verse ends by saying, Vayas chen Aharon. And so did Aaron do. Says the Zohar, quoted by the Malbim, that chen is the chen that's missing from the very beginning of creation. And so did Aaron do is the Vayehi chen, and so it should be, that was missing from when the light was created. In other words, what Aaron was doing was he was actually bringing that light back. He brought back that spiritual light when he lit the menorah. You know, when we light our menorah, when we light our Chanukah menorah, so we sing a song, and in that song we say, V'chol shemonos yimei Chanukah, and for all the 8 days of Chanukah, haneros halalu kodesh heim. These lights, these Chanukah lights are holy. What's the holiness of the lights of the Chanukah menorah? Says the Ran, the holiness of the lights of our Chanukah menorah is the holiness of the original menorah that they represent. It's a continuation of sorts of that original light. And the original light of the menorah was the Or HaGanuz. It's no coincidence that the original Or HaGanuz lasted for 36 hours. Says the Rokeach, that's exactly how many candles we light over Chanukah. You know, 2,200 years ago, under the Seleucid Greeks, the world was a very dark place. For the Jews, it was a very dark place. Unlike our other oppressors from previous generations who had attacked Jews for being Jews, the Greeks were not necessarily attacking us as Jews. They were attacking Judaism. They were attacking our very belief system. That their purpose was lahashkicham Torasecha, to make us forget our Torah. They came in and they left the temple standing, but instead they took out everything that was holy and put into it idolatry. They defiled the very temple. The victory of the Jews over the Greeks was not a short-term victory of self-determination. It wasn't a victory of Jew over Greek. It was a victory of light over darkness. When we go ahead and we step into the darkness of the night, and we go and we light our menorah, our Chanukah menorah, we're bringing a little bit of that light back. The light of the original menorah and the light of the original light of creation, the Or HaGanuz, that comes back into the world, through our lighting of the menorah. The miracle of the Chanukah menorah, the miracle of the Chanukah victory, was a miracle that brought light back. It brought light back into a world that was very dark. It brought light back into our world. Haneros halalu kodesh heim. These lights, these Chanukah lights, they are very, very holy. I wish you all a very happy Chanukah, a Chanukah Sameach, and I look forward to seeing you soon.